Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Forrest, on the show tonight. It's my mucker, Big Stevie, and the one and only Port Bear. How we doing, gents?
All right.
How you doing, listeners? How you doing, Port? All right, mate?
All right, Stevie. Good to hear from you, big man. Looking forward to a good show tonight.
Yep.
You're on the wrong channel, then.
Great start.
How are you, Port Bear?
I'm brand new, mate. Aye, brand new.
Yes. We're going to be looking forward, and I suppose looking back tonight with a quick summing up of the AGM. But I just want you two fine young, upstanding gentlemen, one of them a media celebrity, about their thoughts quickly on Sunday's game. So we'll go to the media celebrity first. Port Bear.
Steve.
I was just about to talk here.
I wasn't sure. Ajax, 3-1 victory. Another win on the board. In points. The gap stayed the same. So, overall, I thought they played pretty well, mate. Some cracking goals. Nothing really to moan about. Just happy. Another win on the board, mate. That's what matters to me.
Yeah. That's another W. Stevie? Thoughts?
For me, I think my friend Robert Wilrose mentioned it on the other night show there that man, women and children, I think we would have took 1-0 before a ball was kicked on that park. It's always a tough place to go. And I thought we played well. I thought we got the job done. 2-0. When they get that wee goal, you're always on your toes a wee bit. But when the third one went in, well, easy street. But just let me tell you something. I'd have paid the money for the ticket just for a snowball fight. I really enjoyed it. I tried to hit Southside a couple of times, but jumping behind all woman and all that. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
I can't believe you missed him, but I can't believe he missed you.
I'm an easy target. I know, a sitting duck, as he would say.
Aye. So, good result. We move on and we look forward to Wednesday. Big day for the club today, Stevie.
Yep.
Always is, isn't it? Annual general meeting. I think the fans maybe take a wee bit more interest than, let's say, they've done in the past for obvious reasons, yes?
Aye, well, look, when figures get released, like 23.5 million or whatever it was, people's ears go up. Now start to come out to get sharpened. But after hearing the AGM today, there'll be a lot of satisfied bears. I think everybody knows we're in good hands.
Port Bear.
Aye, mate, 100%. I think, just to echo Stevie's words, when I watched it today, I felt, it wasn't a usual pretty heated, conversation and meeting. So I felt personally it went pretty well, mate. Loved hearing the reports for Ross Wilson, James Bisgrove and Stuart Robinson. That was a very interesting part of their interview, mate. I really enjoyed that. Robertson. And then obviously the questions at the end, I quite enjoyed them in regards to wheelchair accessible the blind folk. So it's good to see the clubs doing something about that as well.
Yeah, I get that, mate.
Very positive meeting, mate. Very positive.
Yeah, I know. I think we have to look at going forward. And once we shut all these draws behind us, Stevie, I think stadium expansion, and it would be something that as life goes on, I wouldn't be minding being involved with that with a monthly donation, be it through a lottery or a donation to expand the stadium for the good of the club going forward, mate, and maybe some like Club 1872, if they get their allotted shares. With more shares being issued, I think it's getting difficult for them, but if they turned their attentions to improving the club and the stadium, I would be all for that, mate.
It's just, look, I felt a bit rotten for the board today because the last thing they need is the support, kind of like giving them, not so much a hard time, but prompting up the same questions all the time. Unfortunately for the board, it's just the setup, the way Ibrox built for the blind people and the disabled people. It's just a pity the way the setup is. And when you look at the ground, I'm saying to myself as the questions are coming along, right, where would I put them then? If we're going to better it, what could we do with them? Where could and there's no much movement in what you can do because of the stadium situation.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, Stevie, the access has got to be correct. It's got to be
done right, innit?
Aye, you're going to have to do it right, aye.
Yep, it's got to be done proper. It's got to be done right.
And by the way, they deserve it and all, didn't they?
Listen, the Bears, these guys have been gone for years. You heard the boy. He says, this is the third or fifth time I've stood and asked this question. They're gone year in, year out. The Rangers fans, they deserve better. But every man to the board, they could only agree. They could only agree that they weren't putting up any arguments with them. They were just saying it, with COVID kicking in, things get put in a back burner and hopefully, and then they spoke about the...
I get that, big man, and I get and to you first and then Port. But as a business plan, everything's 2 years behind the curve now, innit? For all these reasons, yeah.
It certainly is. Everything's get kicked into touch there for at least a year, 18 months anyway. And the bottom line for me is that the Bears will do something about that. The other question that was asked was about the standing area, and that get basically told, well, we'll need to deal with the disabled and blind people first. That'll be a priority, And there's a lot of things on the agenda, and also asked for to be naming something after Walter Smith. And you could see that we're chairman.
Hot fire, mate. Hot fire. We're going to have a wee video, and then you can give your summing up on the AGM. So, if it's all right, we use two fine, upstanding gentlemen. Yeah, we will go and get a quick summing up. It's a snippet, shall we say, of the AGM, and then Stevie, you watched it live, and then we'll pop there, seen it, and then we'll get your thoughts, and then we'll open up the phone lines. Does that sound all right?
Super, mate. Brilliant.
Just to let you know, we are auditioning for the Rangers Radio Nativity play. We're struggling for wise men, and we've not been able to find a virgin yet. All right.
How did you get to do the donkey?
There's been quite a few. Yeah, quite a few. Yeah.
Few contenders for that spot.
Right, okay, get yourself in mute, and we're going to hear basically a bit for Stuart Robertson. Got me saying it right now, Popper.
See.
There, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. Stuart, if I can start with you. You've previously said the club needs to be financially sustainable. Do you believe that we're closer to achieving this?
Firstly, just say good morning to everyone, and great to see so many people here. The short answer to your question is yes, Nick. I think we're on the cusp of it. It's been a long road to get there because we know the investment that was required at the club, and due to the support that we've had from the board and the investors that aren't here today, and the investors sitting in the audience today, we're now very, very close to being in that position. We've said in the financial report that we are looking to record a positive profit at EBITDA level, and that is looking very, very probable rather than possible now. And that's without a player sale. I know there's been a bit of chat on the press about, we need to sell a player. We don't need to sell a player. What we need to do is get ourselves to a normalised position with our player trading model, which is selling the right player at the right time, at the right value for Rangers. And that's something that we're very close to doing. So we are getting close to financial sustainability. We can't keep expecting the investors to shore up the club. I'm also delighted to say that the statement that was in the accounts about us needing another $7.5 million through this season, that's fulfilled already, plus a bit. So we're well covered in terms of the finances of the club, and that's again down to the guys on the trading. So everybody can be confident about the financial future of the club. We talked last year about the 4 pillars of the club, which are the seasonal revenue, the season tickets and the hospitality, which has been fantastic, and without the support of the season ticket holders, particularly last year through COVID, when the fans didn't get to see any football, that support was invaluable to us. There's the commercial revenues, and James will talk about that shortly, but they're growing, and it's been a fantastic story there. We also have European income, and European football, we know where we should be. We're Rangers, we should be playing regularly getting to group stage and beyond in European football, and that's what we budget for. And that has been fantastic. The last 3 or 4 years has improved the coefficient, the Scottish coefficient, to the extent that we're now looking at the possibility of the winner of the league this year qualifying automatically for Champions League. And I think when you look at what's happened, the coefficient's gone from 26 to 11 at the end of last season. It's currently 9th, provisionally for this season. So that makes a big difference to the finances of the club as well. So I think in short, the answer is yes, we need to be financially sustainable. We need to be running the club within a budget and not dipping into the investors' pockets, and we're very, very close to being there.
James, I guess intrinsically linked to the finances of the club, can you provide an update on the club's commercial activities?
Yeah, absolutely, Nick, and good morning everyone from my side. So I think everyone that works in the commercial and marketing team at Rangers is acutely aware of how important the commercial revenues are for this club. Stuart's touched on there the 4 pillars, so we know the role that the commercial revenues have to play within that. We've got a few clear objectives. One, of course, quite obviously, is growing and accelerating all of those revenues as quickly as we can. But alongside that, we also want to deepen fan engagement. We want to grow the fan base of this club. We've got a phenomenal fan base, but we think there's an opportunity to grow it, particularly in international markets, using digital, using marketing activities, also growing and protecting the Rangers brand. We recognise how important that is. So the year under review here was clearly a challenging one given the impact of COVID and the detrimental impact that had on some of our activities such as stadium tours or hospitality. But when I look across the commercial revenue pillars, of which we have 7, so I've mentioned hospitality there, stadium tours, commercial partnerships, really, really important, kits and retail in terms of the Castor partnership that I'll come on to talk about, digital media, Rangers TV, that's been really, really important. So being able to grow some of those core revenues 30, 40, 100% in the instance of Rangers TV has been really, really positive. So I think what we've been able to achieve in the last 2-3 years is an incremental growth. So we've constantly moved forward, even last year when we had that COVID impact. But if we can look forward for a second for the 21-22 season and recognising that the commercial revenues for the previous 3 seasons have been in and around 13, 14, 15 million. The target that we've set for this season is 27.9 million. So this one, as we come out of COVID, as we normalise our business operations, is really the one where we believe we're going to make the impact and get the club back to that level that it needs to be. And then, of course, we're looking at a number of new opportunities. Stuart will touch on Emerson House, but a really exciting project, a new revenue stream for Rangers, broadcast and Rangers TV I've touched upon, and then the international sphere as well. So, as I said, it was a difficult period last season, but we had a lot of successes within that, and we've got a very high ceiling and a lot of work to do to get to some of the numbers that I've just mentioned there.
Yeah, and for yourself, Ross, great to see Giovanni join us today. Can you talk us through the process behind securing Giovanni as the new manager of the football club?
Yeah, no problem, Nick. Firstly, again, echo the guys. Good morning, everyone. Thanks also to all of the board, our investors and the shareholders today for the continued support, which I think everybody will be proud that ultimately is culminated in the league trophy sitting beside us again, and we definitely couldn't have done that without the continued support of our investors to this point. How I see my role here is I need to lead our football department every single day. I understand that the fans, the media and everybody, they will always look at the player trading part, they'll look at who we buy, who we sell, and that's understandable because that's the exciting bit. But one of the big things I see really important about my role here is making sure we build a really strong and sustainable Rangers, a really modern Rangers football department, a department that can compete at Premier League level down south, because I know what that looks like from my time down there, and making sure we can be as strong as we can possibly be on every single front. A big part of that is making sure that we've got a clear succession plan in place for our key employees. There's no more key employee in the football department than the first team manager. I should go on record again to thank our former manager Stephen Gerrard for the work that he did throughout his tenure here for 3.5 years. I thoroughly enjoyed working with him over the last 2 and a bit years, Stephen and his team. But the downside to all of that is, as Stephen was being really, really successful, I became more and more aware that we had to have a clear succession plan for his future, because there was going to be other clubs going to be trying to tempt him back down south. So I thank Stephen for all the work he had done for us. but I had to have an eye on what was next for Rangers. Clearly, Giovanni van Bronckhorst was right at the forefront of my thoughts for a long, long time. There was a lot of work done over the last couple of years to make sure that we were looking to the future, looking what the profile of a Rangers manager looks like now, which is different to what that profile might have looked like 3.5 years ago, and definitely 5 or 6 years ago. We want to be a modern, open-minded club that embraces modern methods, modern techniques. The process to appoint Gio started a long time ago. We wanted to make sure we knew what that market looked like. We wanted to make sure we understood what the profile of a Rangers manager looks like, as I've said already. And then when Stephen announced that he was going to move on, we quickly got to work in that, and we managed to turn everything around basically between the Thursday and the Tuesday. We definitely wanted to make sure that we were open-minded in that process. We met Gio very quickly. We met another couple of candidates quickly after that, and then we were in a position to offer the post to Gio on I think it was the Tuesday evening. So everything moved really, really quickly. We had a lot of brilliant discussions with Gio, both about himself, Rangers, and the backroom team that he would bring, and the guys that would be working with us here. It all moved quickly, it all moved at pace, but we wanted to be decisive and we wanted to move quickly. And again, I've gone on record previously to say that any club would say they want to appoint a really good coach, somebody that's forward-thinking, somebody that can continue to win football matches, and that we definitely want to tick those boxes. But to be the manager of this club is something really special. We wanted to make sure that not only did we appoint the right coach, but we appointed someone who was an outstanding person and absolutely got what this club's all about and how we will continue to move forward, how we'll work together. And I'm in no doubt at all that we've made a fantastic appointment in Giovanni.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. That's a snippet for 3 of the key personnel at our club. Off the park, Ross Wilson, Stuart Robertson and James Bisgrove. Positive in all 3 statements. Positive, we'll work our way back. Well, I'll tell you what, Stevie, we'll let you come in and you use your summing up, and then we'll go back to the 3 guys quickly, the statements they made. Yeah?
But careful with the Rangers at home and away whenever I can. I'm a bear. I've grew up a bear. I love it. I'm going to tell you something right now, without getting into it, all the politics and everything. And I think the club's in really safe hands financially, and most importantly, I think we're really safe hands at the fact that we've got Bears sitting there who are doing a fantastic job for us. Let's be honest. Everything I've heard today, I'm pretty sad the way they answered the questions about finances, about Gerrard getting away, about where we're left, what we're looking to the future, our shares, our cash, where we're sitting. Everything was answered straight off the cuff, and there was no problems at all. And me tonight, sitting as a Rangers fan, I have got nothing but absolute applause for the guys that are doing the business for us up in the boardroom. And that's just how I see it. I don't know. Everybody's got their own opinion, right? I know somebody might be happy with certain bits of it, but I'm delighted with it overall on the piece. And listen to what I've heard today, I'm delighted.
I think the board of directors would be the first person to admit there's still things to be done, but you can't do everything, yeah?
Certainly can't do everything at one talk, Stuart. I think Stuart Robertson actually mentioned that, in regards to the disabled stuff for the Sky Lounge. He was mentioning, he said, well, there's priorities, so they'll start working from, obviously the disabled and blind section, and then maybe they'll move on. But it's one job at a time, he said, because they want to make it, a top club in Europe again.
Splits it up into 3 bits. They all had positive things to say, and I want to touch on Stuart Robertson's first. The big thing for me, what he said initially, Stevie, was the fact that the money we need to get us through the season is all covered and more. So the investors are ponied up again, along with the fans. Obviously, the fans cover the day-to-day running costs. They've come in, their shares, I think about 4 million were issued last few days. So that's everything covered and some. So that's the people can relax. It's all sorted and we move on. It's funny, it doesn't get the same headlines that the guy who makes a gift to Hearts, who gets the Echo Taser. It's just funny.
Oh, no. I know. Ox, to me, see when I heard Stuart Robertson coming out right away and saying that the £7 million that was mentioned, that's been covered. We've got that. You heard what the Bears thought.
Where do you think Bridge has been the last few days?
Just you stole my thunder. But anyway, no, look, you heard what the Bears thought. You know, he got a big round of applause. As soon as he mentioned the $7 million for the rest of the seasons, that's already been dealt with. That's no problem whatsoever. Look, guys, you probably find out when they say investors, they're probably talking about themselves, some of them. You know, they've been putting money in, interest, loans, free loans, and no one to mention it, But look, I'm, as a Rangers fan tonight, after hearing them, after watching the questions bit by bit, and nitpicking at the bones and make my own mind up, I'm a delighted fan tonight to know that we're in safe hands. We're really in safe hands. They're working within themselves now. They're telling you next year will tell its own story, and things they'll be able to work within themselves. And that's all you really want to hear, that they're going to work within the four pillars, and it's going to be, we're going to be in safe hands, guys. That's the bottom line for everything. I mean, you could talk, everything about sky bars, museums, who we're going to go with strips next year if it's no a renewal.
No, I think that's a 5-year contract, I think.
Is it?
I think we'll get 3 years left, yeah.
Is it? Is it as long as that?
I think so, mate. It was 5 years. I think so. I might be wrong, mate. I'll need to check that out, yeah. I will, but that was fantastic news. Then we came to James Bisgrove, mate. He mentioned the last 3 years, 13, 14, 15 million during the pandemic, and predicted that we would grow to 20. I don't know where he comes with this figure. 27.9 million income for commercial activities. That's fantastic growth, mate.
Well, if you think on the last 2 years under a pandemic and how he's even got the figures that he's got, but to project 27.5 million, I think he said Oxford at the time, that's some target. Since he's been coming to the club, Oxford, he's done a fantastic job on the commercial side, so if there's one man that knows what the potential, commercial assets could be, he's set to sell a hell of a target, in my opinion, but I don't doubt him one bit, mate. I don't doubt him one bit that he'll get it.
Well, I'm hearing rumours that he wants us to wear Long John style shorts, mate, so he can get better sponsors.
Story. I'm on my way to the game with my boys, and we've seen a sports car in front of us. I wonder if this is born our Tav now. They drive with Ferraris now, and it went past it. We're let down badly. It was James Bisgrove.
He's a power behind the throne, mate. He still has for his autograph, yeah.
Aye.
Hey, just for the record, mate. Just for the record, when I was on the phone to Gio, he did tell me that James listens. Is that right, Portbear?
James listens, mate. James is a good friend of the show.
Aye, James is.
Right, so that was a positive out of what James says, and you're right, he's gave us some target, but I'm sure he said that for a position of strength, because remember that we're nearly 6 months into that revenue stream for the year he's talking about, mate, so nobody is.
He'll know exactly.
Right, okay.
Yep.
The last one, Ross Wilson. Stevie, I think he's been listening to the show, succession planning, key personnel, what you have to do constantly. I think he's been listening to us, huh?
Definitely, it has been, Ox. You've got to have a plan A, B, and C. And by the way, fair play to the boy. He's a real good talker, but what he's done for us as well. You talk about how good a job James Bisgrove's done there in the background. You've got to hand it to that man and all. He's come up trumps and everything he does that. Ross Wilson. He's a good talker. And what I like about him is he doesn't forget anybody. He keeps himself, even a lot of people might have thought, Stevie G, and he thanked him for the last 2 years now. Listen, you've got to see things. You've got to draw a line and see things. It would have been so easy for him not to thank Gerard, wasn't it, today, So fair play to him. He does the right thing. And, man, what a job he's doing. He got Gio in there in the time. What did they say? He went on the Tuesday, the Thursday, and that sorted out for the Tuesday. You've got to hand it to him, you know, to get that quality a guy in. A guy captained, the last game he played, he captained his country in a World Cup final. He's European medals with Barcelona, Arsenal. I mean, come on, with that pedigree. And he managed to get him in, you know, and he did mention the good thing again, that wasn't just a top coach they were looking for, it was a decent person to, and Gio fitted the bill. So these guys are all doing their homework. And as you said, they probably are listening to the show, because we talk about that quite a lot, I've heard, didn't we? You know, surely these guys have got this in place and that in place. And truth to the world,
it's your job, it's their job, mate, that people have always got to be forward planning all the time. Port Bear.
Aye, mate, aye, definitely, mate. A club that never stands still, mate. And I don't think you can when you're in elite level football. One thing I picked up on for Ross Wilson, mate, is, you know, contingency plans for everything in place for any, you know, major member of staff leaving the club. He's got his bases covered. I'll tell you too, I'm worried about a contingency plan for Ross Wilson and James Bisgrove, mate, for the job them two are doing. So I hope they've got a contingency plan for that as well.
Aye, I'm sure, mate, I'm sure. But I mean, there seems to be a connection between the boys in the club, and we'll see where we go. But you always have to revolve people's life. People can get knocked down with a bus. People can decide they want a career change. Anything can happen, you know. You have to always have plans up your sleeve. The forks in the road, as you call it in life, Stevie, yeah?
Aye. Can I ask you a wee question, Ox? Right? I know every institution, every team and whatever, they always don't get it right, and there's always that wee bit. But can I ask you, Ox, you know your stuff. I listen to the way you talk, and you're good with your stats, and you know your history of the Rangers and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the board? What do you think of it? I've been good hands here, Ox.
Well, in the hands of Blue Nose, who know the tradition of the club, with the people run about them, starting from John Gilligan, the guys that we know, the men that we trust. Mm-hmm. Yeah, men that we trust. We know them because we've been in the terraces with them, we've been in journeys with them, we've been at games with them. We've drank with them. And they've moved the club on. Guys that have been about our environment, our way of life for their whole life. So they trust us. And they've got in their fortunate position where they're able to put in more money than, say, a normal season ticket holder can. And they do that because they love the club the same as we do. So to answer your question is, I trust them. And I've trusted them since the day that John Gilligan walked in the door.
There you go. And by the way, I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way. Even before the AGM today, I felt the exact same way. I think it's all about trusting. I think we've got the right people in the right places this time, Ox. I really do. And I know in the past a lot of people are maybe hemming and hawing because of where we went, the journey we had. But I believe sincerely. You mentioned one name there, John Gilligan, you know, and I've spoke to that man. I mean, me GFK were reporting for Rangers Radio at a European, you know, the under-21s or something like that for Hull, and we were actually sitting with John Gilligan, you know, and as you said, he's a bear, he's been on the journey, and guys like that there. But let's be honest, even the boys have brought in, Ross Wilson, the boy Bisgrove, they're all doing a good job for us, and I really trust them with my cash anyway. No, can I say one more thing? I think it was Stuart Rawson that brought it up, and well done to him, because the Rangers fans, they deserve a big thank you. Because see, that year, we all chipped in with our season ticket monies and not one is crossed there into that stadium. The Rangers fans, they deserve a big thank you for what they've done there. And we'll always do that anyway. I mean, my 2 season tickets were paid, but that goes without saying. They were paid, and I knew I wasn't getting into Ibrox. But fair play to every other Rangers fan that done that, because you heard what he said. We needed it, and they did help us, and they deserve it.
I mean, listen, mate. People, because they're successful in business or their lifestyle, their life choices gets them to where they are, and they can put in more. It doesn't mean they're more a Rangers supporter than the guy who can't go because he's maybe his life is it took them on a different path. It doesn't mean they've got any less more passion for the Rangers, you know. It just means that they can do things that the other guy. That's unfortunately, whether we like it or no, that's capitalism. But that's the way we are, and that's life, Stevie. People can do more, and if you can do more, you do more. If you can't, you can't. You know.
So what you're saying there is bronze members are just as good as Rangers fans as gold members. Is that correct?
Without a doubt, big man. Without a doubt.
Oh, we'll make you hear all south side. I'm due a ticket. I know, get my head back here calling my dog a Tim. Sitting right beside me.
Wait a minute. I wouldn't mention Frank, mate. Things are Frank. Oh, it's a bit emotional. Don't mention Frank.
Frank headed after the phone call I received it.
Don't mention Frank. Right, okay, but look, I think Southside would be the first to acknowledge that, mate. He'll have friends that are their passion for the Rangers, but their lives took them where they can maybe can't afford to go to the game. I understand that, mate. You know, or their job. You know, he's a unique character, shall we say, the big man.
Aye. Listen, we're all pairs together, Ox. We're all pairs together. It doesn't matter how rich, poor, how far or near. We're all pairs together. We're all one big family. And we'll help each other all that finishing line when we can. That's what makes your club what it is.
I'm not saying I know everybody on the board of directors, Stevie. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the people that we know, who know them, we trust them, yeah?
Oh, aye, 100%. Aye. Yep.
All right. Is that fair, Port Bear?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, yep.
Right, I think we better get these phone lines open, or this will turn into a podcast and everybody will be falling asleep with us three on. Right.
They're the booking right in, look. They're the booking right in.
Davey will be having withdrawal symptoms. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, positive. Bridgeman will be delighted the day we turn over that £1 profit, and it's in the it's free that £1 profit, and then we move on, and that's another door shut behind us, Big Stevie.
Yeah. Aye. Sorry, Ox. I've lost the plot here. My dog's just run away with my slipper. Sorry. So I've lost the plot here. What was your question?
Stevie, in certain organisations, slippers are very well regarded. You have to look after them, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's not my mother's slipper, it's all right.
Okay. Right, okay. Port Bear, you all right with that? How's your slippers? Where are you? Port?
Oh, Port's fell off his...
Where is he? Has it disappeared?
Must have. Must be doing a bridge.
Oh, it says he's here, but we seem to have lost him. But I hope... Oh, he's dropped out. He'll be back with us. Hope his dog's not stole his slippers.
Live radio, eh? Dogs away in my slipper.
Aye, I know, right. Okay, so what I'm saying is hopefully when we get the next accounts or we announce a £1 profit for the year, things will change dramatically, Stevie, and people can really be positive, and we can put shut another door behind us.
Aye. Well, look, listen, see if you're looking to invest in a club, you must be saying, look what Rangers have came for. And I think it was mentioned about the Carstore thing, Ox. Now we've got figures behind. We can now, we're in a better position to go elsewhere now. We can say, well, there's our figures with Carstore. This is where we've came for. And, you know, people are going to look at that and go, wow, we're taking a slice of this action. So, aye, definitely, for any investors looking, if we can square that up, then that would be absolutely brilliant, you know.
It is a 5-year deal with Carstore.
Aye,
this is the second year of a 5-year deal, mate, yeah?
Right.
Yeah, you back with us, Port Bear? No. No, he was there, but he's fell out again. Maybe he's not been allowed to speak with his better half, yeah? Right, okay. So we're just waiting for some calls coming in. So it's so positive. We move on for the AGM. Obviously, people are welcome to come and make their comments, but we've got a massive game tomorrow night. Stevie?
Yep. And I'll be there. Me and the boy will be there. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And listen, Barrow and Bahrain Heats, we're gone there for revenge, aren't we? We're wanting to get a battle fever on, get the sleeves tore and gear us mob a right cane, and that's what we want to do. That's what we're wanting to do. But listen, I would take a bridge, man. I know I'm just
all day long.
Oh, a bridge, man. 1-0. 1-0. A penalty kick, 90th minute, hits the two posts, hits the goalie's bum and goes in. That'll do me. You know.
You mean similar to their winner at the weekend?
Listen, mate, you're totally right when you say the lucky are Irish, aren't they? I mean, see that game, me. I mean, the boy goes to clear it. He doesn't even know where he is. Hits his bum, goes in the net. World beaters. Absolute world. By the way, 10 out of 10 Ox about your stat. By the way, with our wee Jap friend for East End of the City and Sakala. You know, 10 out of 10.
No, my stat, mate. I don't make them up. I only read them out.
Aye, but they'd, geez, some luck. If they fell out of one day, they got away. But let's hope the Bears, all the Bears that are gone, get behind the team, sing all the way through it, and get right into them. And let's hope. We've been positive. Let's be honest. In the league, we've been really good. So let's continue into Easter Road. Let's give them a doing. I believe they're a few players short. I don't know.
Just one, mate. Just one.
Is it Hanlon?
No, I'm not sure about Hanlon. No, I'm not sure about him, mate. But the boy Deutsch is the one suspended, yeah. Boyle's back tomorrow night, I think, yeah. I think, mate. Unfortunately, I don't pay too much attention to opposition. We'll try again. Are you alive, Port Bear?
Yes, mate. Yes, I'm back. Yep.
Did you find your slippers or your Ugg slippers that I know you wear?
Yes, I found them. My feet were freezing. It's freezing down here, Oxford. Freezing.
Right, okay. We're starting to turn our attention to tomorrow night, mate. Stevie says you take a bridge man. I said to him all day long, it's one of the games, isn't it?
That is, mate. All I care about is a W on the board, mate. Their form's been absolutely mental, hasn't it, since they beat us in the final. Still don't think they've won a game yet. So, I think they won the Scottish Cup, didn't they? They come back. But you always say, mate,
say that again, mate.
If we play, what part?
It was the semi-final that beat us.
So the semi-final beat us, aye.
They won at the weekend, mate.
Aye, the Scottish Cup.
Oh, they beat St Johnstone in the league, mate.
Oh, was that a league game? All right, okay.
Homework.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, in the league, Oxford, I think they've won in 5 in the league. I don't know. I can't explain why they play against us the way they did. And then
I can.
You know,
I can. I'm sure Stevie can. Stevie?
Right, now, it's just as plain and simple as this. They've got too many Celtic men in their team family. They raise their game. It's as plain and simple as that. They cheat their fans. See, if you're a Habs fan, you must ask yourself the question, how could they do that against Rangers all the time? Come out and play, fight, steal, scratch, do everything they need to do to get a victory against them, but the next couple of weeks they come out to play garbage again. They're cheating their fans, that's all they are. No, and that's all they are. But we know that before a ball's kicked.
I think you're wrong here, Stevie. I think if you had fans, you'd ask your dad why. That's the question you'd ask.
That's true.
Anyway, but your point's made. They put that much effort into playing us. Yep. They didn't take their eye off the ball, and they were fortunate to get a win at the weekend with St Johnstone. You did the 10 men, but it's a big game for us, and I accept your point, Stevie. It's all about winning the football match. I don't think there'll be much changes to the team that played them in the cup.
No.
Stevie?
No, I agree. I agree. There'll not be. It might be tweaked. It might be tweaked a wee bit, but you're probably right. See if we win our man-to-man battles. See if we just win our man-to-man battles. We'll scoot it. I said this before we even went to Hampden. I don't know what happened to us. We frozen that first half. We couldn't pass. We couldn't find our men. We couldn't do the simple things. And then we left ourselves absolute no chance, didn't we? Really, we got the goal back, and then you come out and you don't score a goal in the first 15. And it makes it all that harder, doesn't it? So, listen, we know what we've got today. Man to man, on paper, we should gub them. But I'll take a 1-0 all day long. As long as we get the 3 points, that's all that matters to me. As long as we walk out of that dump with 3 points in the bag, I'll be over the moon. By the way, what's that? 14 days, well, nearly 2 weeks. The turnaround for Gerrard going away. One in Europe, a hard game at Livingston, then one at Easter Road. I'd say we're doing all right. I'd say we're starting to get better as games go on as well.
That'll be 10 days since we played Hibs, and that'll be obviously this is my 4th game, and 10 days, Port Bear, so it's a quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround for the gaffer, mate, definitely. But I think if you watch over the Sparta game and obviously the game against Livingston at the weekend, there's not much in a change of formation apart from the 4-2-3-1, and I think that's helped. I think that's helped the team Oxford, in my opinion, to just look a wee bit more solid. I know we lost a poor goal at the weekend, although I thought the pass was a cracker for the ball actually, for their goal. But under Gio, mate, I think you can hear in his interviews, every game he needs to win. He knows that. He's one of us, which I think is a lot important. I think the team's so far so good, Oxford. They're responding well to whatever's the coaching's going on. So I think Hibs will see a different Rangers tomorrow, Oxford, for the scene in the semi-final, mate.
I agree. I just think they caught us at the right time, and the tweaks will maybe make us harder to beat, and they'll find it so easy. And if we dominate the ball, what we did in that game, let's be honest, Stevie, we will make and take more chances.
Yes, 100%. No, I'm noticing since Gio came in, there's more people in the box. We're crossing balls there, and there's 2 or 3 in the box, but instead of just the one guy all the time. There's more people getting into the box. There's more people looking to take opportunities, and that's the difference that I can see.
Is that a new Spanish striker? One guy?
And the wingers they're using the width, But listen, we know what we've got today. It's down to the players, man, to keep that bit between their teeth. And remember what happened last Sunday. Remember what happened, and just get that bit between their teeth and get there and give the Bears a good night up there in that Rangers end. I'll be there anyway, me and my boy giving it large for the Teddy Bears as well as all the other ones that are there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow night. I think it's a good time to play them. I think revenge is in the airport, Bear.
Aye, let's face it, mate. If he didn't get that semi-final result, he'd probably be sacked. On that form, you've seen managers getting sacked for probably less, mate. So I personally think he's going to face a different, tactic. He used to play in Gerrard, Jack Russell the last few seasons, but to him, Gio's an unknown quantity, mate. So he's not going to know how we're going to set up. He's probably got a fair idea, but I don't think Hibs will play through us. Certainly, mate. The way they did cut us apart at times in the semi. So I think Hibs are going to have a difficult night. I think Rangers could be, too much for him. Mate, I like the formation changes and the tweaks. I like where Kamara was playing. I like Aribo in that number 10 role. I think people are finally getting to play where their strengths suit us best. So I think he's going to find a very different Rangers and a very good performance tomorrow night, mate.
Do you want my team?
Give us
Here we go. Give us it, aye.
Alan McGregor, James Tavernier, Connor Golson, Big Bassey, Big Shirley.
Right.
Calvin Bassey, Borna Barisic. Oh, Stephen Davis or Glenn Kamara. Oh, it's a tough call.
Aye.
Stephen Davis. I couldn't. Stephen Davis, Glenn Kamara, Scotty Arfield, Joe Aribo, Alfredo Morelos, and Ryan Kent. And the guys that are unlucky, is Fashion Sakala. Yeah.
Aye, that's pretty much 100% team I would pick, mate. Yep.
Thoughts, Steve?
I do feel sorry for Sakala.
I can only agree. With that team. I mean, I was saying it as you were doing it. I can only agree that would be my team. That certainly would be my team because
so that's only one change for the team that played them in the cup. Is that amazing? Considering on the Monday we were all wanting to find a lot of them.
That's true.
It'll be different tactics, but that's what the difference is. It's how you use them men. And I think that's where Gio's going to come in, you know. It's where he's going to put these guys. You know what I mean? That's going to be the difference. I think Hibs' game plan's going to be they'll kick us off apart and punt a high ball and any set pieces and hope for something hitting off someday. That's going to be that's going to be their game. Maybe they will try and play through us, but with Big Bassey in the middle instead of Balogun, we've got a bit of pace in there. So they might not try and come through us, but you never know. But they'll do the usual. Free kick outside the box or anywhere near the halfway line, they'll punt a high ball into Rangers box and just hope one of their biggies got a header off it and it falls to somebody. That's what their game plan will be. But if we play our game, we should win comfortably. But as I keep getting back to 1-0 to me.
I hear you. Well, I don't disagree with you. Pope Bear.
Aye, 100%, mate. I think, I mean, that'll be, you know, a team over the last 3 games under Van Bronckhorst, they've hardly been changed up here, have they? So there's a bit of consistency in the team selection now, which I think is a good thing. I say, I'm going to touch on it earlier on. I think Fashion Sakala finds himself really unlucky not to get in that team up here. When he's on form, he had a great header the weekend. All the goals he scored, before you
go any further, Pope Bear, when he came in, the header he scored against Motherwell and the header he scored there on Sunday, two different, completely different headers. Did you think he had that in his locker? I never.
No. He got some leap, mate. He must have some hell of a hamstrings. He was like a gazelle, mate. He was a standing, not a running jump, a standing
That's
jump.
That's hard, mate. That is hard.
Aye, exactly. And he was up high, mate. And a powerful header as well. He got a lot on it. Didn't know he was good in the air, mate. But another wee string his bow and fair play to him.
Right, I think we've been joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, guys. How you all doing?
All right, mate.
Not bad yourself?
Yeah, I don't think we're allowed 2 people for the tail of the bank on here at one time for security reasons.
Well, you better kick him out. He doesn't know his homework. He doesn't know if we're in a final or semi-final.
Well, you get to his age, mate, you're always worrying when your next semi's coming. You know what I mean? How you, mate? What's on your mind?
Not bad. No, I just listening to the show there. I thought I'd just phone in just on tomorrow night. Just listening to your teams there. Probably very similar to what I would go with. But I'd maybe start Hadji over Arfield.
Thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger and we'll speak to you soon.
All the best.
Carry on, mate. Carry on.
I think it's just one of the games that they're obviously not expecting us to play the same way as we did in the semi-final. Far from it. And I think there'll be a lot more kind of areas that they'll leave that Hadji could be in the pockets for a bit of space. Aye. That's one thing I noticed.
Would you the same way, Robert, the 4-1-4-1? Or would you go the 4-2-3-1? Because we've set up differently. My tactical genius Fox assures me we set up 4-1-4-1 at the weekend, and against the Czechs we would definitely set up 4-2-3-1, you know.
I would go with the 2 instead of Kamara and Davis sitting on tomorrow night. There just seems to be a wee bit kind of more edge with the 4-2-3-1. The wingers are staying really wide, creating space for a Aribo in that free role, which he's grew into within 2 games. We know he's got it in his locker, and it's just that free role that he's been given. Is that
I get that. When you do that, you've got space for Hadji in your team, haven't you?
Yeah.
Aye. I get that. I understand that. Pig Stevie.
I can only agree, about the caller saying there. Robert, isn't it? I can only agree. Aye. Joe Aribo, you mentioned Joe Aribo there. By the way, what a player that boy's turning into. What absolutely fantastic. You know, he's dangerous. The man, see that goal, the way he curved that goal in there on Sunday? Absolute top drawer. Not just that, the big man never stops running. He's always looking to go on the ball. He's got a good football brain on him, you know. And by the way, I'm flinging my hat in the ring here. I'm putting Joe Aribo down to score tomorrow night. There you go. He's got that, beat a man, look up and have a wee curling shot somewhere. He's always getting that in his locker round about that 18-yard box. And I'm taking him to score tomorrow. Big Joe Aribo, he's been on fire recently. Absolutely brilliant. As far as the setup goes, whether it's a 4-2-3-1 or whatever way they decide to go, is it no great that we're talking like this? Is it no great instead of the old proverbial setup and that's it? But we've got a choice here now, and teams don't know what way we're going to set up. You know what I mean? It's good at that. As I said to Ox earlier on, it's more or less going to be the same team that played at Hampden, but it's how they're going to be played. You know what I mean? It's got to make a difference for me. So, happy days. I can only agree with the caller, the setup.
Poor bear.
100%, mate. I think with the stability in the 4-2-3-1 option, obviously Kamara's the legs, Davis is a wise old man, so Kamara has to do the running about for Davis. But it works sometimes to a young midfield. You know, your preferable water carrier.
Do that again, young.
Jellica.
You don't play for the other Bob.
Young. Maybe he's a commercial deal that James Bisgrove's going to say.
But certainly in the system, mate, it definitely does work. So I think we get more people in the box. And one thing I've noticed on, Stevie's probably touched on there as well, we're having shot socks here for places we probably would have had under Steven Gerrard. It's not this, we need to pass 100 times. That's one thing I've noticed. It's not pass side, 100 passes before you get into the goal. I think we're more direct as well. I think we mix it up, we go in behind, we play at the feet, we get wide. I think we're more direct under Gio, mate.
Yeah.
All right. Robert, thoughts, mate?
Just on that, mate, I think, see, having the 2 holding players just sitting, it gives the front 4, whether it be Kent, Hadji, Aribo, Arfield, Morelos, Akala, any of them, that kind of licence to go that extra bit forward, knowing there's 2 protectors in front of defence. So we're a wee bit more in the front foot. It's not this 40 yards away from their goal starting it. It's get the ball down, pass it, and they're off. And I've noticed that with Morelos as well. I know a lot of people last week were saying he's far too deep. But even in the 2 games against Prague and Livingston, he's that bit higher up the park on the last man. He's still coming deep for the ball, holding it up and passing it. But he's that wee bit more towards their goal than it has been for the past, whatever, months of the season.
I think Port said it there. There's more directness about the team. Instead of going to the middle of the park and get out to the wing on the left, it takes a couple of passes to get it out of the wing, and then it comes back in the middle and it goes out to the other wing, 2 or 3 passes. There is that bit of directness, but a couple of holding players in the middle of the park. Maybe is Steve. Listen, can I hear right after? What about Lundstrom just popped into my head here? Is there anybody think that he might start? Is he injured?
He's not injured.
He's on the bench the weekend. There.
he was coming on for about 2 seconds against Hibs at Hampden, wasn't he? And then obviously Ballaghan got injured and they put Bassey on, didn't they?
Yep.
You know. But no, he's no injured, mate.
It's a good point, Steve, because you know, as we all know, you get, was it 4 man matches you got in a trot?
We're talking about holding players there. He just popped right into my head and I thought, he's not had any game time. Maybe tomorrow night going to be his chance to get in there and maybe show something. And then I'm saying, well, Stephen Davis never played at the weekend, so surely he's keeping him for tomorrow night, you know. But listen, it's a good situation. We're in, everybody's back fit, and you don't know who they're going to play and what position they're going. So it's looking good for us. But listen, there's a directness. We're on the up. Since Gio's came in, we've won 2 games. We've lost 1 goal. We needed the 2 goals in Europe. We're going here tomorrow to get into these spoon burners, man. Sleeves rolled up and let's get right into them. Come on, the Rangers!
And then, you're right. Great to mention last Tuesday's game. Going back to the AGM, Robert. Scottish football's now in the 9th in Europe, and our coefficient is all down to what club? Can you help me? That's a trivial question for you.
I think it's maybe us, mate.
Might be, aye. Have you read a lot of that in the press? Or do you think people get into the plate, as they call it, has been mentioned a lot? You picked any of that up?
No, there's been nothing mentioned about how well we've actually done for Scottish football, and I think a lot of the lower teams obviously benefit from that as well, financially. Obviously, if we win the league, and hoping we do, then that's £40 million just for getting in the Champions League. But the breakdown of finances for other money for our clubs and the coefficient is brilliant.
Yes, Stevie?
You're being a bit harsh with the rest of Scottish football there. No giving Rangers any thanks for getting the coefficient up. They're doing something good and getting us up there, getting recognised again. No, are we ever going to get that off of the SFA, Scottish football, the SPFL, or even the media here? Are we ever going to get any well done Rangers? We never will. We never will. They just absolutely hate our club with a passion, and it oozes at them, and we're never going to get any thanks. We don't want any thanks. But you're totally right. What we've done for that coefficient is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And see, to think at the end of the year, if it's no us getting that 30 or 40 million quid in that pot, that's soul destroying. Absolutely soul destroying. But we will get it.
Here. Quickly, Port, before we go to the tune.
But in regards to coefficient, mate, you know my thoughts on that. Mob across the road, the coefficient killers. And one thing that's really annoyed me this season, that's 3 European tournaments, mate, they've been, put out, and they still did it into the conference one. What happened to the old days, mate? You're out. So the qualifiers for the Champions League, Europa out, and they drop into, the conference. When have you ever had a club to get knocked out, a club to get 2 other chances of drawing a European tournament, mate? I think it's a sham. I think it's disgraceful.
Well, remember, we also get knocked out of one competition, mate.
Yeah, no, I know, but, the last 3 seasons under Gerrard, we got to the last 16, that, mate, so we've single-handedly brought out the coefficient ourselves. Well, we're club across the road, just, I don't know, maybe getting out the group stages is not for every club, mate.
No, it's no, and neither's an AGM when you only talk about your own team. That's not for everybody neither, is it? All right, get yourselves a mute, lads. We're going to have a tune.
How many years ago, my boys, I left the Glasgow town. I followed the pull of the Yankee land and here I've settled down. Although I meant so Bridgeton Cross and my friends so near and dear, but I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. You can talk of California where the sun shines all the year. You can bomb my Bachelor Broadway like so clear. But it would fill my heart with sadness, it would fill my heart with cheer if we only had the Rangers over here. For they're the finest team in all the land, and I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. For the boys who fear none eyes, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing Buck of California, where the sun shines all the year. Singing bum my butcher, Broadway lights so clear. But it would fill my heart with gladness, it would fill my heart with tears. And we only had the Rangers over here. And I'm sure that you'll agree. To see them win is something grand, it's part of history. For the boys who fear nor night, my lads, and I mean this quite sincere. What I would give if I could have the Rangers over here. Singing Talk of California, where the sun shines all the year. Singing down my butcher, Broadway lights so clear. But it would fill my heart with sadness, it would fill my heart with tears. And we only had the Rangers over here. And we only had the Rangers over here. And we only had the Rangers over here.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye. Nice wee tune, old Bridgeman, being a jig. Yeah. I think he's passed the fitness test and he'll be back with us soon, Port Bear.
Oh, great. It'd be good to hear him Devian back. Aye, he's sorely missed, mate. Sorely missed.
Mm-hmm. Here. Looking forward to hearing from him. He's okay. He's not been ill. Everybody keeps asking. He's fine. He's tip-top. He's just been busy. Right, okay. Robert, I think we've all got similar teams. Maybe one or two changes, max. No place for Ryan Jack yet?
No, not yet. I think it's another option. I think Stevie said earlier on about Lundstrom. There's players in the formation with the 4-2-3-1. There's now depth in every position. There already was, but when you think to pick two holding midfielders, you're spoiled for choice really, and each person brings something different. It's getting that balance.
Aye. Mm-hmm. What's the perfect team for you then? With everybody fit. What's your Rangers 11? Everybody fit.
McGregor, Tavernier, Lander. I'd probably go with Goldson. Although he's probably got a mistake in him this season, I'd still have him in there. Barisic just now edges it a wee bit ahead of Bassey, but he's been fantastic in the centre back position the past two games. Been absolutely solid, and he's got that streak about him that's quite imposing for opposition players. Midfield, if I'm playing a 4-2-3-1, I think you've got to have Davis in there, the experience he brings, and then the cool header Kamara. You're free. Kent, Hadji, Aribo, and Morelos up top.
He was doing ever so well, wasn't he? Right, okay.
But it's good to have this like Steve said, it's good to talk about different positions, different formations, and personnel. Something we've probably not had for a long time is the selection headaches, and even as fans we're sitting going, who do you play? Especially in midfield, you've still got Bakuna. Does Bernassi get his chance to come in, show what he's got? You've got Jack.
Robert.
Yes, mate.
You're the Hibs manager tomorrow. You're saying to yourself, right, who's Rangers going to play tomorrow? It could be A, B, C or D in the middle of the park, and they could set up a 4-2-3-1, or they might go for some other formation. You don't know how they're setting up. See, against Gerrard, you could have probably picked his favourite boys, and everybody knew the way we played. You know what I mean? So there's a big change. There's changes, just even the way we're talking now. It just shows you that it's changed. You know?
I totally agree, mate. Totally agree.
You probably heard Docs mentioning we've not got a plan B sometimes in the games we get beat. You get everybody on hot under the collar, and we're all getting off for trap goals and trap Alfie. I mean, there's I mentioned this to Oxford. After the game against Hibs, they were all want to be Alf trap, and then he came out again in Europe against Sparta and he scored 2 goals. Sometimes you've just got to wait, draw a wee line and step back and have a look at it. But listen, changes are good. The more Hibs don't know how we're going to set up or who we're going to set up where, that's the difference. That's just the difference itself.
No, I totally agree, mate. Totally agree.
I'm just going to change we're going to come back to the Hibs game, yeah? Port Bear, are you there?
Yeah.
We don't campaign a lot or ask anything for the club. Is that fair?
No, never. No.
We're supporters and we like to put in and help when we can, if we can. And anything we do financially is not for profit. Is that fair?
That's very fair, mate. Very fair.
We're going to do something that we've never ever done before. And this drum chapel influence is coming through this. And Stevie, you don't know what I'm going to say here, so be careful. We're going to set up. No, we're going to set up a petition, and we'll ask all our listeners to sign it. And we're only asking one thing: we want Rangers to induct Jim Forrest into the Rangers Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah, Jim Forrest.
Yep.
And you can sign the petition, spend lads, at ipetitions.com, induct Jim Forrest into the Rangers Hall of Fame. It'll be going live in all our social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, it'll be on YouTube, when we're in on lobby, we're working on more links. And if you can send that, sign it, and pass it on to everybody. We want Rangers to induct Jim Forrest into the Rangers Hall of Fame. If people want to put it on the forums, the Rangers forums, feel free. That's all we're asking for. We think he should be. I don't know what your thoughts are, Stevie.
Right, my thoughts are very simple. I'm gone with that, right? My dad used to tell me about Jim Forrest. What a player, all the rest of it, right? He used to go on about Jim Forrest. I must ask this, Ox, because I don't know, right? Mm-hmm. Did they finish in good terms with Rangers?
There was alleged his last game was Berwick Rangers. Yeah.
Right, so did they play him for the defeat?
Him and Big George never played again, yeah. They never played again. The only 2 players never played again. And arguably, dropping Jim Forrest might have cost us a European trophy, mate. We played in the final without a centre-forward who scored 146 goals in 166 games.
Wow.
Listen, my dad told me that he was a better forward than Ali McCoist. And I tell him, I said, Dad, where you go? And my dad said, I'm looking you in the eye and I'm telling you, this guy was what a player he was. I couldn't believe Ali McCoist. I was like, where you go? There you go. We played the European Cup final. We cut our nose off to spite our face, did we?
Maybe. And obviously, we don't know what went on behind the scenes, but we're just talking in a pure footballing term. Jim Forrest should be in the Rangers Hall of Fame. Yeah. It'd be interesting to know that guys like Skipper, I'm going to bring him in. He's not been on much, and he's only going to stay for about 30 seconds. Mr. Fox, to get his thoughts on that. He's of a certain vintage. Mr. Fox.
I'm 100% behind this. I brought this up years ago. That Jim Forrest should always have been in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely terrific centre forward. And it was a shame how he parted his ways with Rangers. I think after all this time he should be rightfully acknowledged for the feats he had at our club, and it's a great petition.
iPetitions.com induct Jim Forrest into the Rangers Hall of Fame, and people are signing it rapidly. Since we announced it, there's a dozen people signing it, and it's one people signing every second. So let's get it done, and we can sign it to Rangers and show them that there's feelings, because the guy, he's at a certain age himself, and just to acknowledge what he done for us, some amount of goals in such a short space of time. Port Bear.
That's a goal ratio and a half, mate, innit? You know, you're talking, in modern day terms, you're talking, you know, a guy that would be highly sought after. I've heard you and Fox talk about this guy, Bridgeman, as well, previously on the show, so that's how I know a bit about Jim Forrest. But that's some goal ratio when it comes to strikers.
Did they blonde hair? I'm sure my dad used to tell you the blonde hair. Did they blonde hair? Fox still there?
No, it wasn't blonde, mate.
But no blonde?
It was a kind of, I don't know what you would call it these days, dark hair. He had dark hair.
Dark hair? I swore by him anyway. He used to tell me what a player he was. Your modern day, he said he would cost you millions, he says, for a player of his calibre nowadays. Would you pay for Jim Forrest? Dear. That's what he used to say to me. He's better Super Ali.
Get it. I petition out there, social media. Get it done. It's dozens now have signed it already. That's remarkable, the power of social media, isn't it?
Unreal.
Yeah. Yep. Somebody help Skipper sign it, please.
I'll get Singapore Travis to sign it for him.
Remarkable goal scoring feat, Robert.
You can't discredit that at all, can you?
Only 2 penalties in that. 2 penalties.
That's
2 penalties?
Yep.
Am I right in saying you said 144 goals in 146 games?
No, I never said that.
What did you say?
I'm just looking for you. 166 games, 146 goals.
And only 2 were penalties?
Yep.
Get the guy in. Get the guy on that board. He deserves it, doesn't he? Just for total football terms, he deserves it, doesn't he? Forget the politics. That's unreal, isn't it?
Robert?
Aye, that's remarkable goal feat for anybody, especially in that era as well. It's pretty good players in amongst it all as well, but like you say, to get 2 penalties in amongst that, the rest it's all open play, that's remarkable. Any modern day football does that. It's spoke about widely, and the such and such millions of pounds. So that's fair play to the boy. He deserves his slot in the Hall of Fame.
Aye, okay. Look, but then a bit of fun, but a bit of interesting. Something that some of our people involved with Rangers Radio feel quite passionate about. Yeah, was signed for the club for Drumchapel Amateurs, Big Stevie.
Oh, we're the boys from the drum. Honestly, I kid you not, I'll say it one more time. My dad said to me he was better than Super Ali, and I just laughed at him. I thought, oh, Dad, behave yourself. But see, when you're telling me that, his goal ratio, my God, man, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Only 2 penalty kicks. That's wow, man. Just forget the politics. Let's get it done. That's unreal.
Get it signed. And you can always...
Where's Bob Jeremy? Where's Bob Jeremy?
Bob Jeremy will be saying he'll be too busy trying to work out how to sign it.
Aye, I'd like to think so. Bob Jeremy will be signing that, no problem. He must have stood, he must have jumped, he must have made him a happy man every Saturday.
And a Wednesday night.
Saturday at 3 o'clock, Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Aye, Bob Jeremy was as regular as clockwork.
Yeah.
Aye. So we could do David Jim Forrest. Right, okay. You can also sign the petition at RangersRadio.online /Jim. RangersRadio.online/Jim. It'll be there. The link will be there to sign the petition and see where it takes us. It'll be interesting to see what kind of response or interest we get on it. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. You know?
It'd be great to have some listeners in regards to Jim Forrest, Jim. Obviously, we've got, I'm not sure, Bob J. Ow Davey. It'd be interesting to hear any stories about Jim Forrest, just to let the younger ones get educated. Yeah, Bridge, mate, aye, definitely, yep.
Aye, all the older guys. Yes, mate?
I'm just saying, Jim Forrest, what honours did he win with the Rangers?
I'll give you that in a minute, mate, if you just give me 1 second, yeah? He was part of the treble team, 63-64, yeah?
Right.
And then it would have been the league, 62. And then the Scottish Cup in 66, Kai Johansson, yeah? I'm just going to check that out for you, personally for you. Right, okay, give me 1 second. But aye, remarkable goal scoring feat, and obviously didn't have the longevity, but his record. And somebody made a mistake. Right, where am I? He only played 5 times for Scotland, yeah? And obviously his cousin was Alec Wallaby, yeah?
Alec Wallaby. Dear.
Who was an absolute gent. Got to know Alec well. Right, okay, I'll look for his honours.
Is he a party man?
No.
No?
No. Right.
I can't mind if it was you told me a story. Anyway.
I'm just looking for his honours. I'm trying to get it, mate. But I think his honours were maybe a couple of league titles, a treble, and then a Scottish Cup again, yeah? You know? He didn't play that many games, mate, and obviously never got to play in a European Cup. Yeah, the Cup, European Cup Winners' Cup final. You know, anyway, just 5 times. I think we've been joined by Andy for Leeds. Evening, Andrew.
Good evening, chaps. Hope everybody's keeping fine.
At the moment, mate. At the moment.
Right, I'm good. Aye, but I think that's some record and a great thing that you're doing there. I'm pretty sure you'll get a massive response for that. Can I just ask a question there? Who would have been up against Scotland-wise, to get more caps, given the fact that he only got 5?
In the early 60s, what are you talking about? I don't know who would have been playing. I'll have a check. If you give me a couple of seconds, I'll check it out.
Well, it just intrigued me, like, when saying only getting 5 caps with a goal-scoring record like that. There's something not right there neither, isn't it?
No. Let me just check it out. But some record, isn't it, mate?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, it should be a no-brainer. It should be one of the first on the board, shouldn't it? That's just ridiculous, is that? That's off the planet, isn't it?
That's
one game, and 1 game, and you get banged over for that. I can't understand that. There's something personal there, definitely.
Yeah, but strikers. Let me see. Striker. Wally Wallace, Stevie Chalmers, Willie Henderson, the forwards, Dennis Law, mate. Dennis Law would have been about then. Wasn't he bad?
I thought that.
He wasn't bad, was he?
I like him. I like Dennis Law. Brilliant player.
By the way, he'd have walked to our hot goals to play for us. You know that, do you?
I know that. I've got a cutting somewhere about what he said about the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. It's in my phone somewhere anyway. But I always remember reading that right enough. Some player, wouldn't
he? Yeah. So look, we're doing it obviously not just as a bit of fun to try and achieve something that we think's to right or wrong, as you say, Andy. Yeah. Yeah,
definitely, no doubt about it. I think it's an absolute fantastic idea, and I'm pretty sure that the troops all pull behind this one.
Get it signed, get it shared, mate. I know you're a celebrity on Facebook. I get all the reports, mate.
I get a few slaggings as well, pal. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry, I get sent all them as well, mate.
All right. Dear me. I try to go under the radar, but something's gone wrong here, I think, But never mind. That's what it is, isn't it?
I get sent everything, mate. Talking about top men, we've also been joined by Alec Fabershaw. Evening, Alec.
Good evening, Oxshire, Port Bear, Stevie, Andy. Everybody keep well?
Good, you all,
yes.
Mate.
Good, mate.
Good stuff. That's an excellent gesture, an idea that you just come up with Jim Forrest there. I had the privilege of seeing the guy playing, and believe me, he was some striker. I seen him playing the League Cup final. He beat Morton 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his cousin Alec Wallaby. Jim scored 4, and Alec Wallaby scored the other goal. And it all went pear-shaped, as you're saying, after the Berwick fiasco, when him and Big Dandy McLean never kicked a ball again. And that was to our fault. We had a European Cup Winners' Cup against Bayern Munich a couple of weeks later. And there you go. We ended up playing Roger Hind at centre. And that could have been the difference of winning that Cup Winners' Cup that night.
Here, mate. Here. You're right. Obviously, we don't want the politics. We don't know, mate. We don't know what behind the scenes. But we're just talking in a pure football terms. The guy's goal scoring record is due to be in it. They might have come back with some rules, but rules can be changed, mate.
Unbelievable, his record. As you say, 144 goals, 166 appearances. Unbelievable. And you've got to remember, he was up against the great Jimmy Miller at the time. And I heard Andy talking there about the Scottish internationals. You've got to remember, I know at that time, you probably have Galzinjas before it. They came through. Scotland, they had some right good centres as well. But Jim Forrest was definitely up there. And he could beat the Celtic at Selly, some record against them, putting the ball in the pocket.
Aye, here, mate, here. So you think, and it's important that people what you think we're doing the right thing, but not try to. We think it's to right or wrong, mate, yeah?
Absolutely right. I've spoken about this a long time ago when I seen him playing in that. And the next thing, well, he went away to Aberdeen, Press North End and that. And you see the guy no long ago there. He made an interview. Absolutely. Just at the pit of the time with Scott signed and that. And he was the fall guy, him and George McLean. You got to remember the Berwick Rangers goalkeeper was one and only Joe Wallace and all. Yeah. We Sammy Reid scored a goal. He stays out this way. He passed away there. He came out this way. He lived out this way. He was a goal scorer. He was a Liverpool at one time. So all comes flooding back now. No, it's an ideal, brilliant gesture. Get
it signed. Get the young team to get it signed, mate. Yeah.
I will do.
All right, we're going on to tomorrow night. I'll come to you first, Alec, and then I'll go to Andy, your team, and how you think it's going to go. Alec and Andy.
Well, the last 2 games in that, I did say we get a result against Prague. I fancied it was right. We got there. Okay, I beat the last maybe 10 minutes. It looked a wee bit kind of squeaky bum time. You went to Livingston there. You know the score up there with the partner that they've got, and they managed to get her. I think we've got to start to maybe something good now. Once he's on the training ground with them, Van Bronckhorst and his team, get this team into shape, we could really see something special again. Tomorrow night's got to be another hard game because we know what the Hibs is all about. This seems to be the game that they want to just beat everybody. Or beat the Rangers anyway, and after that, none really matters. But my team tomorrow would be Alan McGregor, James Tavernier, Connor Golson, Calvin Bassett and Big Bora. Midfield, Stevie Davis, Kamara, and I would have, this would put probably one, I'll throw Lumstrom in there. And the front 3 of Tavaribo, Morelos and Kent.
And you're not the first person to mention Lundstrom, Andy. I'm still waiting for Alex Kelly to pay me up for last week's bet with the team he announced. But carry on, mate.
He's been awfully quiet, and he eats too many Chinese meals. That's his problem. Mate. He's had 12 chins since the last time I've seen him. But personally, myself, I want to see
more chins in a Chinese phone directory.
Oh, he's definitely got that. Aye, definitely. There's no doubt about it. You keep telling me I'm fat and he's slim. I don't know what he's looking at, man, honestly.
You should have taken me to the fun house in Blackpool, mate.
Oh, geez. They wouldn't allow him in. But for me, I want us to do what we did against Livingston, come out with the right attitude, bang on him. As I always say, get that first goal, and then I think that's key to Rangers where they go. Come out. We know what they're going to be. I think it's a good thing that we've got them straight away after the way we performed in the semi-final there, and also the fact that Gio actually looked at that and he said himself after it he noticed a few problems that hopefully he can tweak in tomorrow night's game. So that for me, I would have the same team bar one. I would take Kamara out for Davis.
You would have Kamara playing?
No. I don't think he was very good in the second half. He's getting too much ball weight, to be honest with you. I don't think the boy's been right since all that, the racial carry on there right enough. He's only had 1 or 2 good games. I think it's affected the boy, to be honest with you, right enough, But I would have Davis, hopefully there to open him up. Harfield and obviously Aribo around them.
Have you watched the game back, Andy, without the pressure of saying we might lose a goal?
No, I'm not a lover of watching games back. The only time I watch them back is when we do them, and then I watch it back as many times as I want.
And again.
Aye, but I don't. I like to watch live me and then keep the thoughts in my head.
When you actually, if you watch it, when you've not got the pressure of being caught up in the game, you'll see the game different. The way that Kamara went to play up in the second half, mate.
Yeah,
he didn't do a lot, but he didn't. It was neat and tidy, Port Bear.
Aye, it is everything simple next year, and I think under Van Bronckhorst he's playing slightly different as well with that too. I think that's in my opinion, it's his favourite position, either in a 2 or in a 1 himself at that pivot. And he's got legs. He uses class. I know what you're saying, Andy. His form's not been, he's not of late the same levels he reached last year. But I think he's an absolute baller, mate. I think, and I'm going to put this out, I think he's the best midfielder in your midfield.
No, I'm not feeling that one, Pop. But it's each to our own, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. Robert?
For me, I see Andy's point. Maybe dropping Kamara because he's not been on form. But to be fair, the team hasn't been on form since the start of the season before Gio came in. So the kind of bright spark of Gio coming in just gave everybody a boost in the list, and you probably see that in the play. And I think Port's right. Kamara in that too is probably a favourite position for him. And having somebody, whether it's Davis or Lundstrom, that's just when he sit there, allows him to move forward as well in a different role, like Port says. But for me, he's one of the best midfielders, if not physical on the ball as well. He's got that bit of skill in him as well. Probably the only thing he needs to add is goals to his game. That's probably something that he'll think personal he'll want to do. But depending on the role he's been given, then you can understand why he maybe not have the numbers.
Yeah. Oh, listen, everybody sees the game slightly different. I get both sides of the coin. I think he's a top player, arguably one of our top assets. Alex Wishaw, then Stevie.
Absolutely. I agree with everybody when you call it. I respect everybody's opinion in that, but I've got to say Kamara against Prague was unplayable, man. Unplayable. The guy's a talent, him and Aribo. The reason I've left Arfield at the team, it's no because he's not been playing well. I just feel that Lundstrom going there because I think Scott Allen will play with him, and I think Lundstrom's a guy that could maybe sort him out. That's the only reason I've changed that. It's not against Scott Arfield. Scott Arfield's been absolutely fantastic. But Kamara, what a football player, what a talent. And we've just got to embrace him. That's how I look at it. But as you say, everybody sees it different ways, but that's how I look at it.
Can I ask a wee question, Ox?
Yes, mate, but don't make it too hard there.
Aye, no, it's just in regards to the midfield, and I heard you touching on Jack earlier on. What does happen when we've got Ryan Jack, Glenn Kamara, Davis and Lundstrom, 4 of them who are going to be vying for 2 positions?
I think what you've got to look at, Ryan Jack might be no fit to maybe February, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, no, probably, yeah.
Till we get back into maybe end of January, February, he might get cameos for now on. And obviously every game he gets is very important. And you might see him against Dundee or something like that, broke through the blue, we never know. Ryan Jack comes back in, you get competition for places, you've got other guys that will be maybe getting suspensions or injuries once he gets in the team. If he gets in the team, he plays well. If he keeps his jersey, he keeps his jersey. If he doesn't, but everybody else, unfortunately, you become surplus to the requirements. I think Ryan Jack will get back in our first team when he's 100% fit, because he brings a lot to it. And maybe Lundstrom might find it even harder to get in the team. Davis, it'll depend what happens going forward, what he decides to do when he sits doing the Gio in the club. But Ryan Jack, a fit Ryan Jack, is an asset to our squad and our teammate. I never thought I'd agree with Andy for Leeds, but there you go.
There isn't a lot, so don't worry about it.
I've been sent. This isn't me. This has been sent for somebody. This is for you to use. Alex Kelly. He's a translender, a fat guy who identifies as a slender guy. You can keep that one, Andy.
I'll listen back and store that. Don't worry about
that.
Sorry,
the banter.
The banter. Big Stevie, your thoughts on Kamara?
Glenn Kamara's let's not kid ourselves. The Mora, we're going to need an engine, and Glenn Kamara's got it. That boy will cover every blade of grass of Mora. Some games that it's won and lost in the midfield, innit? And we certainly need to make sure that engine room's there in the midfield tomorrow. And Glenn Kamara will definitely be playing tomorrow for me. I mean, I've covered everything else, but for me, he's just an engine. He's a Rolls Royce. The boy knows his stuff. He's great at what he does. He does a lot of unthankful work that a lot of people don't see. His movement off the ball, unreal, man. Unreal sometimes. As Alex said, against Sparta Prague, it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant it was.
All right, talking about people who are always fantastic. We've been joined by Bob Chair. Evening, Bob Chair.
Evening, lads. How are we doing tonight?
Evening, Bob.
Good, mate.
You're analysing the team, praising up Glenn Kamara. They're fantastic players. As good a midfield players as I've seen. What will the back four, though? Do you think you'll keep it the same tomorrow night, or is Balogun fit again?
I'm going to put myself out there and I'll take it around the panel. Even if Balogun's fit, I might even play Bassey. There you go. I might even go that far.
I would agree myself. Bassey's done nothing wrong.
I think he helps Borna as well, guys. I think he helps Borna. I sometimes don't like to see my centre-backs getting dragged out to the full-back position, but he's done it, and he's done it with, great tackles, helping Borna. I don't think people get in that inside left channel, which they'll probably try to exploit tomorrow night to the semi-final. So I think that's where we're having Bassey there, hard to tackle, probably quicker than Balogun, in my opinion. And then you've got Borna, who's got that one to the left foot that can still go and do his job. And Bassey is covering. And remember, if they play one up front, I don't know where we're going to play, we can allow Bassey to go and Boyle. We can allow Bassey to go and assist Borna. So I think it's worked. Whatever we tweak that's been made over there, I think it's worked, guys, so far.
Bob Jerry, you might have missed one other thing, and I'm going to go to you with this because you're of a certain vintage, slightly over 21. We've started a petition to get Jim. We started it tonight live, and people are signing it every minute as we speak. Every few seconds, in fact, to get Jim Forrest inducted into the Rangers Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree. A great goal scorer. When Jimmy Miller was coming at the end, Forrest, I think he was 18 when he stepped into the team. And fantastic return from fantastic goal scorer. Even when he got the blame for Berwick. Him and Big Dandy McLean got the blame for Berwick. When he went up to Aberdeen, he was still scoring goals very regularly for them. So yes, I would agree Jim Forrest should come into the Rangers Hall of Fame. Definitely. One of your greatest ever goal scorers.
If it's good enough for Bob, Robert, it's good enough for me.
Aye, me as well, mate. It's good enough for me. I'll sign it and share it once I'm off this call.
Yep. Get it shared, Port Bert. Get it shared to your two friends you've got on Facebook, Port Bert.
It's 21, mate. It's 21. It's 21.
You know, talk to yourself.
No.
Well, I know Alex Kelly's unlike you after the night.
I'll be blocked. Blocked.
That'll ruin his life, Andy, won't it?
Oh, he can block plenty of people. I'm just standing there. Don't worry about that.
Right.
Can I ask a question to Bob, Joe?
Yes, on you go, Rob.
Absolutely.
Obviously, like Ox said, you're of a vintage age of over 21, and I'm closer to 21 than what you probably are.
No, I am. Yes.
What kind of striker was Jim Forrest, in your opinion, in the modern day game?
What kind of striker was he? He was a pure penalty box striker. He was very quick on the turn, very lively in the box. And he got on the end of everything. He was like a striker that you could chuck the ball, crush the ball, and he was up feeding that like a big burly striker. He wasn't the biggest of strikers, but he was very, very quick, both feet. And if you go back on YouTube, you'll see some clips of him. You'll see what I mean. Everything was done on the deck, very, very quick. And as I say, when Jimmy Miller was coming at the end, he just slotted in perfectly. Because Miller was a great goal scorer for us, brilliant goal scorer for us. And Jim Forrest just fitted in at the back of him, along with Alf Brand, and the goals kept and the trophies kept coming at that time. But that's what he was like, very, very quick in the box. I remember Rangers were toiling one day at Dunfermline, because Dunfermline were a very good side at the time. And Rangers went out the park, and Forrest had his back to goal, and he just wheeled round 45 degrees, fired it right into the corner of the net. Just whiplash him. That's what he was like. A supreme chance taker.
Bob Ger.
The
$1 million question for me is, if we never had that fallout and he played in that European Cup final, do you think we had a better chance of winning it?
Absolutely, because I'll tell you a story about that. I was talking to none other than George Connolly, because he lives local to me. He's a nice big boy. And he says that particular week leading up to that final, they call it the forgotten final. It will be forgotten by me anyway. Willie Henderson had phoned him and he says, "You're not going to believe this." He says, "He's got big Roger Hind at centre forward for this game." He says, "And Jimmy Miller sitting in the stand." If that hadn't happened, unfortunately, at Berwick, I mean, that was Rangers' most ever disastrous result, as we know. That hadn't happened, and Jim Forrest had played that night, he would have bagged one of the chances, definitely, because Big Hind had generally his left foot and he hit it straight at Sepp Meyer. All right, that happens. Who's to say Jim Forrest wouldn't have hit Sepp Meyer? But I believe if we were a real chance taker, like Miller and like Forrest that night, we could have won that Cup Winners' Cup that night, because we were the better side.
If I remember
but, hey ho, it's history. Yep.
If I remember right, the excuse that was put in the programme, I think, either the week after it or something, which by John Lawrence was stating that it was lack of effort by certain players on the Berwick defeat. And that's when Dandy McLean and him went. And they were like the Ali McCoist and Mark Haitley their day back then. Absolutely terrific partnership they were.
Spot on, folks. I'll tell you something else I know. See, the week before they played in the Cup Winners' Cup final, they played in Motherwell. That was our last game. And we went down to the game, right? And the team was there. Roger Hind was a right half. He was related to the Shankleys, Bill Shankly and Bob Shankly. That was his uncles. He was a school teacher down here. And he got put in at centre forward. And that's the team they went away with. And that's the team that played there in Nuremberg. And by the way, we scored there and got it chopped off.
Aye, there was nothing wrong with it. That's right. It was Big Hind went up the goalkeeper. Meyer dropped it right to him and he buried it. It was Martin Johansson, Proven. I think it was Jardine Killing Greg. Wally Henderson, Alex Smith, Roger Hine, Dave Smith, and Wally Johnson. That was that team.
Spot on. Big time, that's what it was.
I mean, standing crying my eyes with that night as a 16-year-old boy. After what happened the week previous, but that's life.
And they played well. To be quite truthful, they played well against the Germans that night.
They played really well against the Germans that night. They had Meyer turning the ball in the post of the bar.
The game's there on YouTube for any of the young team that's going to go.
But you're right. See what you're talking about Jim Forrest. Jim Forrest does a thing that Alfredo Morelos can't do. Jim Forrest can get the ball and take it and go up to the goalkeeper, and whether he just dinks it by him the full lot, he can do a thing instantly. Where Morelos, when he thinks, he duffs it. Forrest was absolute electric with his speed.
That's right. He was worth millions now. But
correct.
You know, that's the correspondence with a lot of players. We're worth millions now, Jim Forrest, and his goals return, unbelievable. It's a pity that happened.
We've started off a bit of debate. We're hoping to right or wrong, Stevie. No one ulterior motives, no one for any publicity for the show, just try to right or wrong, Stevie.
Can I just say something? See, sitting here back here, listen to Alec, Fox and Bob there. What a treat for all us young bears, man. What a treat. Listen these guys naming the teams, what the setup was and how it all came about. And listen, education, man, on the Rangers. The Rangers we all love, but by the way, what a platform tonight, and what an education I'm getting tonight. And I hope the listeners out there, man, this is absolutely phenomenal stuff. And see what we've started tonight, I hope it goes the full road now, I really do. After hearing just these three guys there, the enthusiasm, what they were saying, they were like the Haitley and McCoys. Unbelievable education. Unbelievable. And how they're comparing Jim Forrest to the Buffalo, what he couldn't do and what his strengths were. What an education I've had tonight sitting here. It's been absolutely brilliant. And
Forrest was quicker.
Here, mate.
Than the Buffalo.
Unreal, man. I can listen it on.
Bob Gia, how we lining up tomorrow night?
How we lining up tomorrow night? Well, I think we're just going much of the muchness. Same again. Same as Sunday. They played well on Sunday, and I think that's, I think you should go same again. Keep Scotty Arfield in the middle of the park, trample on Scott Allen's stays, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll pierce holes in that lot, all right. And it's a clean slate with Gio, so let's go for it. We'll all be 3-0 doing it at half-time tomorrow night.
No. And I think if we win tomorrow night, we go something like, 18 points clear of them or something. There you go. One of our rivals, so they think. Alec, for Wishaw, it's going to be amazing that the team, if I had said to you last Monday we were going to play Hibs 10 days later, we're going to have Rough with the same team. Emotions were running high last week. We built those gallows, we were building them high. We're in,
But that's the emotions of football, by the way. And I was one of the ones myself. After he came out there on Sunday, let's not be kidding about it. How bad we felt 2-3 days later to get out of that. And it was. And you tell me now, 2 weeks later, by the way, we're in the last week, you call it 32 Europe. And
10 days later.
10 days later, right? And it's the same players, basically. Because I basically slaughtered them on. I'm not proud about it, but it really just got to me, that cup semi-final. Absolutely. That was a way. I just don't expect that for a Rangers team, no matter who we're playing. But the point is, Gio's come in there and he's had a couple of days on the training ground now. He's maybe got a week now this time, and he'll implement his side of the game. He's got, all accounts, a right good backroom staff and all there. And we've got Roy Mackay, a top striker. And if Alfredo Morelos and Fashion Sakala can't take any off that guy, there's something for wrong. So everyone looks positive, but we've got to get in there with the right frame of mind tomorrow, the way we've been on top tempo right away and take the game to Hibs. And I think we could win for a right good evening.
Top tempo? Is that no Knightswood? Oh, who's that? Oh, right, okay, all right. Port Bear. We were building the gallows, but we've stopped and we're behind them again, eh?
Aye, that's the rebuild started, mate. I think under Gio, it's been. You've spoke about this. I thought now it is showing. Maybe it was getting stale under Gerrard, and obviously Michael Beale. Maybe the players weren't responding to the training. Actually, that can happen in football. And I think with the gaffer, I love the way he always refers us to we, us, we are. I love that Oxford. So he'll install into the players as well. But he's probably installed new belief into some of the players that were, their form wasn't that great. Because one thing, as I said, I've noticed how direct we are, but I've also noticed we're absolutely peppering. We're actually shooting a lot more now, mate. Look at Arfield's goal, you look at Aribo's goal for the weekend. I think it bodes well, mate. I think once this team get to the full grips of Gio's system, even defensively, once they get back to their normal self, I think we'll roll on, mate, under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, and we'll all go and win a league.
Oxford.
That'll do for me, mate. That's the ultimate prize for the trophy hall, for the fans, and for the club financially, which was mentioned a lot today.
Yep.
Bobja.
Aye, yeah. Well, again, I mean, we went 7 points clear on Sunday at a similar venue, very difficult, narrow pitch, plastic pitch, and I thought that's the best I'd seen Rangers play on that pitch, actually. And if we can only get better again, big wide open spaces in Easter Road, and take the game to them, go 7 points clear again before they play on Thursday. So because, I mean, when you run out the tunnel, you say to yourself, well, I'm 7 points here, 7 points behind here, I've got to win. That's difficult sometimes, so let's hope that's the way it turns out. But overall, I think Gio has improved things, and I think the marked improvement will still come. Don't you forget, he's got to bring in people. All right, one or two might go out, that remains to be seen, but he's got to bring in people. I think he's a better manager, better coaching staff, and onwards and upwards. That's what I say. And I think we will win the league. I'll not be with 25 or 26 points like we did last year, but I think we will get there. I think we've a good, strong squad here. And I'd take we'll be there.
Andy?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think once he starts implementing his style on him and what he's wanting out of him, and if they listen, I think we can get really, really strong. And the fact that, Gerrard went away, there was obviously something going on there. Maybe it wasn't the players that were down the tools. Maybe it was Gerrard that was not giving them the right responses. And they probably seen some at the cell, that he's at one in it. And that probably contributed to why we've been playing like we are. I mean, the last two games has been very refreshing under him, hasn't it? And as I said to you, that bit where he's up and off the line and if there's something not going right, he tweaks it on the pack. Now, that's very refreshing in itself, isn't it? So, going forward, I think, if they buy into it, I think we're going to be okay now, Like I say, a week's a long time in football, isn't it? Like you said, we were wanting to lynch him, like, now we're fully... It's not that we're not fully behind them, we just get disappointed when they do stuff like that, I mean, that's just being human, isn't it,
Remember the next time you're trying to build those gallows? Yeah, remember that?
Aye.
Yeah, Alex, I'll come back to you, because you had to hammer nails out, mate.
No, I was ridiculous. I was in absolutely back.
You were speaking through the heart, mate, not from the head.
It's the passion you've got for the club, man. As I say, we can all get beaten games. You've no divine right to win. In semi-finals especially, when you come out and you're 3-0 down within the first half hour, and you manage to get a goal back, and you're thinking, right, back into it, and another goal. Then you heard about the aftermath, and somebody says this, whether you agree or no. Connor goes and gets a chance, and kicks it over the bar. It's so hindsight, it's all by now, but it really flattened a lot of the support coming out of there. And it took, you're on the bus going back home, or you're in the car, or what you were travelling, and that's all the argument was about who done, Gerrard got it, and everybody else got it. And it was really a bad time. And basically, you were like with all the players, you were looking at them all, and you could have dropped any one of them. As far as I was concerned, the only two that looked the part was probably Aribo and, what do you call him, Scott Arfield. I mean, it's a way by now, but way we've came for, as you say, 10 days now. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like night and day. We've got a team there that's out. on the front foot and they're in there. Now, Livingston's it's a difficult place to go, as we all know, over the park. They totally destroyed them. Absolutely destroyed them. And it's refreshing to see Lynn Bronkhurst out there and handing out instructions a full lot and just tweaking it, knowing exactly when to make the substitutions. And here it goes, by the way. We maybe get a gem here. It's maybe worked. Maybe we're all sorry but the other man left, by the way, but it's maybe worked out in our favour now. And here's hoping we get a result tomorrow night.
Lads, can I say this? We've got a manager here who wants to be manager of our club. No, a manager that was 75% wanting to be manager of our club, but his mind was somewhere else. I got sick here in I can't saw hindsight, but I got sick here about Liverpool. I said, you're a manager of Glasgow Rangers, mate. I said, that'll come in the fullness of time, but that's all you heard was English Premiership in Liverpool. Well, he's there now. We've got our man. I'm happy with him. Onwards and upwards. Yeah, and Alec, you're with me on this, Alec. This is my last word tonight, Alex. You're with me on this, Alec. This lot will come out this tunnel tomorrow night and they'll be 150% pumped up for it. And we've got to be the same.
Absolutely. What is it, 250%, Bob?
Aye. Yes, I said that last week. You're right, Alec. 250%. We've got to be the same. So, sleeves rolled up and into it.
It's all about the 3 points tomorrow night. Robert, then, Andy.
Yes.
Totally agree, mate. 3 points is a big game, but you need the 3 points. I think, if you ask me now, would you take a draw? You'd probably say aye, but obviously you do want to win. But just going back to, I think it was Alex that mentioned the coaching staff, is Dave Voss, has he got a work permit yet to be in the dugout, or is he still waiting in the wings?
I couldn't tell you. Obviously he's here. We've seen him in the crowd on Sunday, but I don't know what the working situation is. I'll see if I can find out for tomorrow, mate. I'll phone Giovanni, yeah?
You can give him a wee buzz, mate, just let him know I was asking, aye.
Many a true word said in jest, mate. Many a true word said in jest.
But I think even getting him as well, sorry Ox, even getting him as well from Ajax, we all know how their youth system works, and getting him as an assistant manager is another contact within the Dutch football kind of pyramid. So you could have some Dutch players coming through to us on loan or anything like that. So it's going to be an interesting January window, never mind the summer, to see what happens in terms of players in, players out, and where Gio thinks we need to strengthen.
It's a real interesting time. It's been a real interesting night. Last word for you, the one and only Andrew from Leeds.
Yeah, I think if we could get this result tomorrow night, I think it's two potential banana skins could go a long way to really setting us on the path again, getting us back on track. So yeah, we can come out with the right attitude, match anything that they give, and a wee bit better. We should be okay. Before I go, can I just get a shout out to Mandy? She knows what I mean. I'm always thinking about her at the moment, right? So I just like to put that out there. Okay.
All right, okay, mate. Should we ask why, or do we just leave that between you and Mandy?
No, it's personal to the lady, and she is a lady, okay. But she'll know what I mean.
You're going to get Barry Manigault to write a song for her?
I'll sing it. I'll sing it when she starts coming around and she gets where she is. I'll give her a bell to the sash. Okay, all right. So she'll be all right with that.
If she needs best wishes, all the best for everybody.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right, okay. All right, mate. Listen, Bob J, Alex Wishaw, Robert and Andy, thanks very much for the call. Superb calls tonight, absolutely superb. And thanks for your comments about the one and only Jim Forrest, boys.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. Oh, sir, can I ask you, what was happened to Bridgeman? Is Bridgeman okay?
Bridgeman is okay, mate. He has to go to Switzerland once a year for tax reasons, yeah?
Right, okay, right.
He's a wild card from a celebrity.
Yeah.
All right,
so as big a celebrity as him.
Trust me, Bridgeman's, well, he's very busy. He's took on a task that's it's been quite difficult at his time of life. But if you maybe tune in tomorrow, you never know.
It could
if you maybe tune in tomorrow at 6:45, you'll never know who you'll hear, Robert. All right, then. Alec, yeah. All right. All right. Over to Port Baird and then Big Stevie finishes up.
Aye, mate, thanks very much. Thanks for all the callers, Alec, Robert, Bob J. Thanks to yourself, Stevie, as well, for having us, mate. That's great, good discussions. And I'll look for a nice 3-0, a 3-1 win tomorrow.
That'll do.
Over to you, Big Stevie.
What can I say, Ox? What a show tonight. The Jim Forrest thing, man. Wow, I was just loving every minute. Sitting listening to the old team there, but talking about Jim Forrest, and oh man, what an education, what a platform. But once again, thanks to all the callers that phoned in, and I think you go that rang there about Bridgeman. It's the Isle of Man he's meant to for tax evasion. So,
no, he goes to Switzerland once a year. He goes to the Isle of Man twice a year.
It surprised me, by the way. But listen, guys, honestly, the first thing I'm going to do when I get off of here is go and sign that petition for Jim Forrest. 10 out of 10 to Rangers Radio. What a goal ratio, and what a player he must have been to watch. But listen, we're all part of that big, massive family, aren't we? And what an education I got tonight. Thanks to Bob J and Alex. Brilliant. And Fox. But absolutely brilliant. Thanks for having me, Ox.
Cheers. Get it signed, get it shared, the petition, the iPetition, iPetition.com, Jim Forrest. Yeah, get it signed, get it shared, and get Jim Forrest into the Rangers Hall of Fame. Thanks to all the callers. Thanks to Port Bear and Stevie for doing the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This is Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6:45 with a pre-match show, and you never know who'll be with us. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, Rangers. Do it if we can. Win the cup, hold it up in our hands. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.